Same Jeep, same badge. Two totally different outcomes. 250,000 miles or problems before 100,000. The difference isn't luck. It's 12 Jeep hacks experienced drivers use to save fuel, avoid drivetrain damage, and keep their Jeep feeling tight for years. Let's start with the cool mod that quietly charges you every mile. Hack number 12. That roof rack is a gas tax you forget you're paying. Have you ever stood back, admired your Jeep, then watched the fuel needle dive like it got annoyed? That roof rack can turn into a silent gas drain, even when it carries nothing at all. At highway speed, airflow hits that rack, your Jeep pushes harder through wind, and you pay an extra throttle time and more noise. That wind fight never takes a day off, and your wallet notices. Here is the simple move. Pull the rack off when you do not need it, and you grab free MPG with nothing fancy. This one is not about weight. The charge comes from air drag math, and drag does not care if the rack sits empty. Berkeley Lab and NREL estimated racks caused about 100 million gallons of extra gasoline in the US in 2015, about 0.8% of light-duty fuel use. Want the quickest win after this? Grab a tire gauge, because the next mistake hides in plain sight. Hack number 11. Your tires are low and your Jeep is working overtime. Want an easy win that feels like you found money under the seat? Check your tires, because low pressure makes your Jeep work overtime with every roll. When pressure drops, rolling resistance climbs, the engine must push harder, and you burn extra fuel for the same drive. The worst part is your tires can look fine while they quietly lose air. Check pressure when tires are cold, match the door sticker, and do a quick recheck after you air down for trails. That tiny habit protects daily mileage and tire life, because low pressure also makes tires run hotter, and hot rubber wears faster. The DOE number is sharp. Underinflated tires can cut gas mileage by 0.2% for every 1 psi drop across all 4 tires. DOE also says proper inflation can raise mileage by 0.6 to 3%, depending on how low you were. If you ignore this, uneven wear starts building fast, and that leads straight into the next trap. If this is already saving you money, hit like right now and subscribe so this reaches every Jeep owner who thinks they're doing everything right. Hack number 10. Skip tire rotations and you'll buy the same tires twice. Ever hear a faint hum, then weeks later it becomes the only thing you can think about? Skipping rotations can start that whole mess, because tires wear differently front to back, especially with city turning and a heavy front end. Uneven tread changes traction, braking gets weird, and cornering starts feeling sketchy at the worst times. Rotation keeps wear even and handling steady, and it stretches tire life so you do not buy the same set twice. Jeep's maintenance schedule for the 2025 Wrangler calls for rotation every 10,000 miles, and that number matters more than people admit. Running a matching full-size spare changes the math too. Rotate all 5, because a spare that never spins becomes a brand new tire later, and pairing one fresh tire with 4 worn ones can turn into a headache. A detail many miss: uneven tread can make the drivetrain work harder because rolling diameter shifts. Want to hear a louder wallet killer than tire hum? Misusing 4WD on dry pavement can do it. Hack number 9. Use 4WD on dry roads and you're begging for damage. You ever flip 4WD on, love the grip, then turn tight and the Jeep starts fighting you? That stubborn tug in parking lots is a warning sign, not a Jeep thing. Part-time four-wheel drive ties front and rear together, and on loose ground tires can slip a little, so stress releases. On dry pavement, grip stays high, stress stays trapped, and drivetrain bind grows. That bind can cause hopping in tight turns and extra wear over time. Jeep's own 4x4 FAQ says use part-time 4WD for off-road or challenging conditions, then go back to 2WD for normal dry driving. Nothing explodes on day one, so people keep doing it, and the damage stacks quietly until it stops being quiet. If you want your Jeep to stay happy, treat four-wheel drive like a tool, not a decoration. Speaking of tools, there are fluids doing hard work under you, and off-road driving can ruin them faster than you think. Hack number 8. If you off-road, your diff fluids get trashed faster. Mud rides feel fun, water splashes look cool, and your axles pay the bill. Gear oil deals with heavy load, heat, and shock, and off-road use pushes all of that harder. Water crossings can contaminate fluids, and even without water, repeated load cycles break oil down faster. Dirty gear oil turns into expensive noises, and those noises show up when you least want them. The 2025 Wrangler schedule calls for replacing front and rear axle fluid at 40,000 miles for severe use, like frequent off-road or towing. Transfer case service also matters under severe use, because it sees the same kind of punishment. One sneaky detail: many axles have breathers, and a clogged or low breather can invite water when pressure changes. Check that breather hose after messy trails, because milky gear oil is a disaster you can avoid. Want a no-cost upgrade you can do every drive? Your right foot controls more miles per gallon than most parts ever will. Hack number 7. Drive like a calm adult and watch your MPG jump. Think a new part fixes mileage, then why does your right foot decide the outcome? Hard launches burn extra gas, late braking wastes speed you already paid for, and stoplight racing is basically tossing money out the window. Smooth driving keeps momentum, cuts fuel use, reduces brake wear, and even helps transmission temps stay calmer. DOE says aggressive driving can lower gas mileage by 15 to 30% at highway speeds and 10 to 40% in stop-and-go traffic. That is not pocket change, that is monthly cash disappearing. Try this today. Leave a bigger gap, roll into speed, coast earlier, and brake lighter. Your Dash MPG will respond fast, and that feedback makes it easy to stick with it. Driving style is one lever, air supply is another. Dust can choke an engine in a way that feels invisible, and your filter takes the hit first. Hack number 6. Dusty drives choke your air filter way sooner than you think. You take one dusty back road, everything seems normal, then the Jeep starts feeling off and you blame something expensive. That dust can load the air filter fast, and a clogged filter can hurt performance. In some conditions, it can make the engine work harder for the same output, and that can nudge fuel use the wrong way. Fueleconomy.gov explains replacing a clogged air filter can improve acceleration on modern cars, even if MPG changes vary with design. Jeep also calls out dusty and off-road use, inspecting the engine air cleaner filter more often in dusty conditions and replacing as needed. Under normal service, the routine replacement is 30,000 miles, but dust can shorten that by a lot. A trap people create: oiled filters can get over-oiled, and that can mess with sensors on some setups. Clean filter habits beat trendy parts that bring new problems. If you hate random squeaks and stiff doors, the next hack is about tiny care that saves big annoyance. Hack number 5. Lube the small stuff now or it starts grinding and popping. A small squeak can turn into a door that slams weird, sticks, or pops when you least expect it. Hinges, joints, and exposed hardware live through rain, dust, salt, heat, and cold, so dryness turns smooth movement into wear. That wear pulls on alignment, stresses seals, and makes the Jeep feel older than it should. 2 minutes of lube keeps things moving clean, and it stops those annoying sounds that make you think the whole vehicle is falling apart. Jeep's 2025 Wrangler maintenance schedule says lubricate door hinge joints with white lithium grease twice a year to prevent premature wear. Doing it before winter helps a lot if your roads get wet and salty. This is cheap maintenance that protects daily comfort. Ignore it long enough and you will start chasing noises, and chasing noises never ends well. Want a faster check that can save 4 digits? After trails, look under the Jeep, because leaks love to hide. Hack number 4. After trails, do a quick look or leaks get expensive fast. You finish a trail, you feel proud, you park at home, and the Jeep might be dripping right now. Off-road bumps can loosen clamps, crack boots, and nick lines, and small damage can turn into big bills if you never look. You do not need a lift. Park on clean ground, look for fresh drips, check boots for tears, listen for new clicks on turns, and pay attention to vibration that was not there before. The Wrangler maintenance schedule includes regular inspections of CV and universal joints, suspension components, and boots at key mileage intervals, and that schedule exists for a reason. A tiny boot tear can fling grease fast, dirt gets in fast, and a joint can go from fine to loud quicker than most people expect. Catch it early, and you save real money. Ready for a mod that charges you every day without sending a bill? Big tires can do that, and people act shocked every time. Hack number 3. Big tires don't just look cool, they cost you every day. Big tires look tough, but are you ready for the daily cost that rides with them? Bigger tires usually add weight and rolling resistance ties directly to fuel use. NHTSA research on tire rolling resistance shows a 10% reduction in rolling resistance can improve fuel economy by about 1.1 to 1.3% in testing. So moving the other direction with heavier, chunkier tires usually drags MPG down. Then gearing steps in. Taller tires effectively change the final drive ratio, so the Jeep can feel lazier off the line, hunt gears more, and load the drivetrain differently. That extra load can raise heat and wear depending on the setup. People blame the engine, but tire choice plus extra drag plus heavier wheels often causes the pain, and rotating mass hits harder than many expect. If you want the look, plan the math, because the Jeep will collect payment either way. Speaking of payment, there is a mistake owners treat like a flex, and engines remember it. Oil changes have a hard limit for a reason. Hack number 2. Stretch oil changes and the engine pays you back later. You glance at the oil life screen and think you can push it, and that thought is how engines end up in repair bays. Modern Jeeps use an oil change indicator system that adjusts based on driving conditions, and heavy idling, short trips, dust, towing, heat, and cold can make it call for service sooner. That is the Jeep warning you the oil got worked hard. The 2025 Wrangler official Mopar schedule sets a hard rule. Oil change intervals should never exceed 10,000 miles, 12 months, or 350 hours of engine runtime, whichever comes first. That limit exists because oil can only take so much abuse before protection drops. Short trips can be brutal because oil may not reach full temperature long enough to boil off moisture and fuel dilution, and that speeds wear over time. You will not see the damage in the moment, but the engine will. Want the biggest truth that explains almost every early failure? Many owners live in severe duty without realizing it, and that changes the whole schedule. Hack number 1. Real truth. Most Jeep owners drive in severe mode daily. Think severe use means rock crawling every weekend. Then why do so many daily drivers wear out early? Normal life can count as severe, and that is the shocker. Frequent short trips, heavy stop and go, extended idling, dusty roads, towing, off-pavement travel, extreme heat, extreme cold. Those patterns push your Jeep into severe use habits even if you never post a trail photo. That is why one owner can hit 250,000 miles while another feels cooked at 90,000, because the difference often comes from routine, not luck. Mopar's maintenance guidance and the Wrangler schedule stress adjusting service based on driving conditions, and that oil interval hard limit exists because severe patterns shorten oil life fast. Mopar also notes that in dusty or off-road conditions, oil intervals can need to be much shorter, like 6,500 kilometers in some guidance. Treat the Jeep like a working machine when your life matches severe duty. One last question. Are you following the schedule you have or the schedule you wish you had? If even one of these hits close to home, tell us in the comments. And if you want more real, no-fluff breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button right now. We'll see you in the next one.